As I stepped out of my small apartment, the cool morning air clung to me like a damp shroud. I lived in a sprawling complex on the outskirts of town, one that seemed to stretch on forever with its endless rows of identical buildings. The sound of distant construction echoed through the stillness, a constant reminder that this was not a place meant for living. I walked to the community kitchen, where a small group of residents had gathered around the counter. Among them stood Kaylin Vex, her piercing green eyes fixed on me as if sizing me up for some unknown purpose. I avoided eye contact and focused on pouring myself a cup of coffee from the communal pot. The conversation was stilted, with each person contributing little more than a monosyllable to the discussion about the recent power outage that had left our building without electricity for several hours. Kaylin's presence seemed to draw all eyes towards her, and I couldn't help but wonder why she was always there when things turned strange. I finished my coffee in silence, feeling the weight of Kaylin's gaze upon me like a physical force. It was then that I noticed something odd. The small kitchen trash can had been moved from its usual spot near the sink to the far corner of the room, nestled between two large appliances. The lid was slightly ajar, as if it had been recently emptied. A shiver ran down my spine as I realized that no one else seemed to have noticed this change. The group's conversation continued, with Kaylin interjecting occasionally to steer the discussion back on track. But every time I glanced in her direction, our eyes would meet for a fleeting moment before she looked away. I decided then and there to keep an eye on that trash can. It was a small act of defiance against whatever forces were at play within this complex, but it felt like a necessary step towards reclaiming my space and sanity. Little did I know, the consequences of that simple action would unravel a web of horrors beyond anything I could have imagined. As I made my way back to my apartment, I couldn't shake off the feeling that Kaylin Vex was watching me from every corner, her presence an unspoken threat waiting to be unleashed. The darkness within our complex seemed to press in on me from all sides, making it hard to breathe or think clearly. And yet, I pushed on, driven by a morbid curiosity about what lay beyond the edges of this strange and twisted world we lived in. But for now, I was content with simply knowing where that trash can had been moved, and why no one else seemed to care.